Alzheimer's is a degenerative disease. That means that it's progressive. It gets progressively worse. So the way it's diagnosed is you typically give people a memory test and other tests of cognitive functioning, and you follow it up six months later or a year later. And if you've ruled out other causes and people are getting worse, then you can make a presumptive diagnosis of what's called probable Alzheimer's disease.
In the earliest stages, people are usually able to be alone for periods of time. They still have one foot really in the real world. They're able to still dress themselves, feed themselves, carry on what we would call activities of daily living fairly independently.
Typically, an often symptom is people get lost. They don't know where they are. So they may have gone to a grocery store and driven. They may be driving, and then they come out. It's not just a case of forgetting where you parked, but then coming out and not knowing where you are. Then at a more advanced stage, people wander off.
The middle stages can last anywhere from 2 to as many as 10 years. So this disease can be a very long process. And in the middle stages, we see individuals having a lot of difficulty with word finding, a lot of language problems. We see problems with wandering and becoming lost, even in their own home. This is the time when the individual really cannot fully take care of themselves, and so they're starting to need assistance from family members with things like bathing, making appropriate choices for food that they're eating, how to prepare food, how to dress themselves.
Then you start, having difficulties recognizing even family members.
By the late stages of the disease, this is an individual who needs total care. If you think of an individual going backward through the stages of life, by the time you get to the late stages of the disease, this is an individual who's in sort of an infancy stage. Often at this point they've lost the ability to walk. They can no longer feed themselves. Their language skills are they probably have 3 or 4 words left, if at all, in their language ability, and they need total care.
And then, unfortunately, then you don't actually die from Alzheimer's disease. You die from secondary. You just become physically frail, and from infections or other secondary causes is usually the cause of death.